Hey, welcome to CEO Spective. Today, we're diving into something super practical. A toolkit for your mind, built to help you handle, the beautiful chaos of the world we live in.
So, let me ask you this. Do you ever feel like you're just wrestling with your own brain? Like you're trying to push forward, but you're stuck overthinking, second-guessing, just totally overwhelmed? If you're nodding along, trust me, you are not alone. Here's the thing. Our brains are basically running on ancient software. They're hardwired to scan for danger, to zero in on that one negative comment in a sea of positive ones. For our ancestors, that was a lifesaver. But for us, today, man, that same wiring can feel like straight-up self-sabotage, keeping us trapped in a loop of anxiety.
So how do we stop fighting our brains and start working with them? Well, in this explainer, we're going to build a toolkit based on some incredible insights from clinical psychologist Dr. Julie Smith. We'll kick things off with some quick hacks for your mood. Then we'll get into navigating those big emotional storms. After that, we'll crack the code on confidence, and we'll wrap up with a perspective that honestly could change everything. So you ready to build your toolkit? Let's do this.
Okay, first things first. Let's talk about that feeling of being stretched way too thin, right? This is all about getting some control back in the moment and figuring out how to keep going when you feel like you've got absolutely nothing left in the tank.
This quote right here, it gets to the absolute core of modern burnout. We're just swimming in these images of the perfect parent, the perfect CEO, the perfect life, and we try to do it all perfectly all at once. But Dr. Smith is so right. It's impossible. That feeling of being overloaded, it's not you failing. It's a sign that the standards we're all chasing are just impossibly high.
So when we feel that pressure, what do? Our instinct is to go for the quick fix. The endless doom scroll on our phones. The trip to the fridge, you know the drill. They're short-term fixes, and they give us that little hit of relief. But as you can see here, they just keep us trapped in the same loop. The real work, the stuff that actually changes things, is harder. It's about actually sitting with that uncomfortable feeling and using real skills to figure out what's really going on.
The million-dollar question, isn't it? We all have those days. The spark, the energy, what we call motivation, it's just gone. And we're told to just power through, but it feels like walking through mud. Well, here's the secret. Dr. Smith says motivation is just a feeling. It's fickle. It comes, it goes, and you absolutely cannot rely on it to build a life that matters. And this is the answer. Instead of chasing that fleeting feeling of motivation, you anchor yourself to something way, way more powerful, your values. Think of your values as your own personal North Star. They don't just vanish when you're tired or having a rough day. They're the deep down why that gives you a reason to take action even when you don't feel like it.
And this is such a crucial difference to understand. A goal is a destination, right? You run the marathon, it's done. You launch the business, check. A value, though, is a direction. It's about how you want to walk through life. Maybe your value is creativity or kindness or courage. Those aren't things you achieve. They're a path you're always on, guiding every single choice you make.
Okay, but what about right now? What if you're in a funk and you just need out fast? Dr. Smith says trying to think your way out of a bad mood is really, really hard. It's like trying to argue with a fog, but you can act your way out. The fastest way to change your mind is to change what you're doing with your body. So crank up some music that gets you pumped, go for a quick walk, sing out loud in your car, call a friend. These physical shifts create a real immediate change in your head. It's amazing.
All right, so we've got a few tools for mood and motivation. Now we can go a little deeper. Let's talk about how to handle those big, messy, overwhelming emotions that can totally hijack your day and your decisions. This is a game changer. Seriously, most of us are taught that feelings like jealousy or anger are bad. We're supposed to just shove them down. But that's like unplugging the check engine light in your car because it's annoying you. The emotion isn't the problem. It's a signal. It's your brain sending you a memo, giving you valuable information. It deserves your curiosity, not your judgment.
And that brings us to this amazing practice called emotional curiosity. So instead of beating yourself up for a feeling, you get to be a detective. You get curious. You say, that's interesting. I'm feeling really envious right now. What's that about? What's this feeling trying to point me to? Just that simple shift from judging to questioning takes all the power away from the emotion and hands it right back to you. And here's where our values come back in and become our anchor in the storm. Because when you are in the grip of a really intense emotion, like rage or deep anxiety, your feelings are going to scream at you to do something impulsive, short-term, and probably destructive. That is the moment to just pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, what would the person I want to be do right now? What action aligns with my values? That pause ensures you act in a way you'll respect later on. Now, for those times when anxiety feels physical, when your heart is pounding, you need a tool to calm your body down. And this one is so simple and so powerful. It's called box breathing. See, when you're anxious, your breathing gets all fast and shallow, which tells your heart to race even faster. By taking control and slowing your breath down, in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4, you're literally sending a message to your nervous system that says, hey, we're safe. It's like a physical off switch for that panic feeling.
All right, let's get into confidence. It's something pretty much everyone wants more of, but the way most of us try to build it is completely backwards. So this chapter is all about figuring out the real formula for self-belief.
Now take a second to really let that one sink in. It's the central, kind of mind-bending paradox of confidence. We think we have to feel confident before we do the scary thing. But Dr. Smith explains it's the total opposite. Confidence isn't something you have, it's something you earn. It's the result of taking action. It's built by stepping into those situations where you feel uncertain and vulnerable, and you prove to yourself that you can handle it. You just can't grow confidence if you stay inside your comfort zone. It's impossible.
So yeah, self-esteem isn't about repeating affirmations in the mirror. Your brain is way too smart for that. It's a scientist. It needs cold, hard evidence. And the only evidence that counts is action. When you tackle a small, manageable challenge and you get through it, you give your brain solid proof that says, see, I can do hard things. And even when you fail, the evidence is, hey, I can survive failure and learn something. That process, plus treating yourself with kindness instead of criticism, is what builds real, unshakable self-worth.
And this leads us to an idea that's actually way more useful: self-compassion. Self-esteem is all about judging yourself. It goes up when you win and it crashes when you lose. It's super fragile. But self-compassion, that's about how you treat yourself, no matter what happens. It's that inner coach that says, wow, this is tough, and it's okay that you're struggling, instead of that inner critic that screams, you're a failure. It is such a more stable and resilient foundation to build your life on.
Okay, for our last chapter, let's pull the camera lens all the way back. After all the mood hacks and confidence tools, let's zoom out and look at a huge shift in perspective that can clarify what really, truly matters.
It's the simplest truth there is, and maybe the most profound. Thinking about our mortality isn't about being morbid. It's a tool for clarity. You know how in business, scarcity makes something more valuable? It's the exact same with our lives. When you really truly get that your time here is limited, every moment, every choice, every single relationship becomes infinitely more precious. It becomes the ultimate filter for everything you do.
And when you use that filter, when you really ask what matters in the end, what's left? Well, study after study after study backs up exactly what Dr. Smith says here. It's our relationships. Human connection is the fabric of a meaningful life. It's our built-in system for resilience. All the other stuff we're told to chase, the fame, the money, it so often comes at the expense of the one thing that actually fills us up.
So here's a little exercise you can do right now. Just imagine it. You're at the end of a long, full life. You're 104 maybe, and you're looking back. What would need to be true about your life for you to be smiling? Not what did you achieve, but how did you live? What kind of friend were you? What kind of partner? Let the answer to that question be your guide for how you act today. So we've gone on quite a journey, right? From tiny little mood hacks all the way to the biggest questions about life itself. Let's bring this all home with one final direct challenge for you.
Look, this isn't about some massive life overhaul tomorrow. It's about taking one small, meaningful step. Based on everything we've just talked about, what is one single, concrete thing you can do today, not tomorrow, today, that would move you just 1 inch closer to one of your core values? Because that's it. That's where a meaningful life is built. Not in the big, grand gestures, but in the tiny, value-driven choices we make day in and day out.